It's time for map number 2 now between the Turkish and the Swedish. Epsilon versus Space Soldiers, of course, continues after the cash victory. Sorry, for Epsilon there now. We go to our second map to see if Space Soldiers will even be able to keep themselves in this tournament. Of course, they're up against the wall, but we also go to their map pick now.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if we're going to see a different Space Soldiers team on Dust2 than we saw on Cast, because we saw good things from them, to be honest. Like, it wasn't all bad, but in the end, it was pretty much the Epsilon show, winning with, what was it, 16-10? Yeah, 6 rounds difference, and that is a lot in comparison to what we've seen so far at this tournament, where every single maps go to 14-16. So 16-10 victory for Epsilon, and now they're on to Dust2. But Space Soldiers, I have faith in them to take this one. They show some good things.
The problem being, though, is that Cash and Dust2 always have so many similarities between them. They're such similar maps, and with the general, just better individual performances that we saw back from Epsilon on that first map, I am a bit worried now that Space Soldiers do just kind of fall flat here, and we see a clean sweep 2-0 to come in from Epsilon. That would actually be, on this stream, I think the only one we would have had. We've had 2-0s before, but they've been rather close. This one, I think, would be the first like, kind of one-sided one we've had throughout the course of the tournament, so it would be a bit unfortunate to see them go out in that regard.
Yeah, and one thing that I really think that Space Soldiers need in order to win here Dust2 is Despe. He needs to step up to the game that he was delivering yesterday, and also some parts of like the first day where they just went 2-0 in the groups and just basically got to the playoffs as easy as they could, because he did not show up that much, to be honest, on Cash. He had some solid shots, but in general he did not make the difference that you expect an AWPer to do with that investment into him. But here we go, the pistol one has already started.
He's mainly just acting as kind of a support for Xantars a lot of the time, especially on the CT side there. So, a bit unfortunate that we haven't seen it kind of come into his own, but some good stuff from Engine specifically as an aggressive CT, and we'll now have to see if we can echo that on the Dust2 on the T side, as that's where they'll be starting off, but Draken directly in the path. 1, 2, 3, 4! This might be an ace from Draken, and Tuguk even going to give him the courtesy of backing up when he's got a reload now. Oh my goodness, Draken has completely destroyed it. Tuguk will put an end to the ace possibility, but Resonator wrapping up to the top mid puts an end to Tuguk's going anywhere else. Epsilon with a showstopper pick up the pistol.
Absolutely wrecked from Draken there. That's beautiful from him, and just see how that USPS, usually best on long range, he just goes close range and does not give an F right there. Just completely wrecks the incoming push from Space Soldiers. Click, click, boom, coming out from him.
Just barely misses Tuguk's there as the last one. Tuguk's, in all honesty, there almost was the first one to go down as the fourth. Yeah. He just barely dodges it and lets his teammate take the hit for him there. So, already seeing Barbar impacting on the second round too. Despy going for a bit of a desperate peek out there on long. Finds the end of his life. There's the aggression in mid, which Freddy B is going to be able to find there. Taking down their first kill in that area of the map. Draken hunting for some guys here too, and nicely done. Clotheslining the Ataris. 2 more out. There's another tag on a Tuguk's. Yeah, this is looking like a quick round here. Although the dig on a Draken will extend it for a little bit here as we have the invisible gun on Draken.
Yeah, Draken will play a more defensive position right now after going down to 25 HP, which will allow the rest of the team to say, okay, let's push forward, and Calais, as per usual, pushes forward with the UMP 45 and shuts down the round. Actually, assist on both of those from Draken. He did hit both of them with his scout.
Yeah, so that one, of course, a very clean one. These are very quick rounds, too. So, I mean, I said it right at the beginning. I was worried about a fall-off for Space Soldiers, and that's not the best way to build momentum or confidence at the beginning of the map, is to lose the pistol round within the first, like, 5 seconds of combat, and then kind of get wrecked on your second round, too.
And also a player that really plays off confidence and plays off like an aggressive playstyle is Draken. And if you get him rolling, he's 5-1 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And if he gets rolling, especially with the AWP as well, he's just going to wreck these guys. But Bomber trading 1-for-1 basically. He gets down after getting the initial frag. Freddy B trying to hold down mid, does some damage and gets the frag, but it's taken down to 25. Callie has to put up 2 frags now here. And he does. So this round is pretty much over. Callie just going in for the third. Swings in with the deagle and says, hello, I'll take your head.
So knocking out Despy there. Space Soldiers with, I mean, honestly, probably the quickest 3-round loss I've ever seen on Dust2. That was insanely quick. Now that Epsilon were able to get themselves that lead built up, and now it goes into the gun rounds where hopefully we'll see a little bit more resistance, but I imagine also Epsilon are going to be in a good position to keep up some of this aggression if they want to here. Since it's been working out pretty well, and also we still have some of the lessened guns in play too, but only the Scout really enough moss on Resonator. And as we see the opening push come in. Space Soldiers are going to be favoring the long play again. No resistance at all from Epsilon, actually. A bit surprised in that one. They do try to play a little bit more safe, so they're going to fall back, and they let them take control of the staging area outside of the doors.
This is probably going to be one of their biggest chances of winning a buy round on this T side here for the Space Soldiers, because the buy on Epsilon is not looking good at all. They do have still the scout on Drake, and he's really trying his best and going for that. But Santaris, we talked about it, he needs to come up huge every single game for Space Soldiers, and he does, picking up the double frag, looking for the third one here, but Barbar's holding it down on the B side.
Barbar can, in theory, put a stop to this one, though, as the bomb's supposed to go for that long rotation over from the long area of the map. And there you go. He's killed it. There's no one else here to support him. He was playing alone. He's still actually a little bit scared, so he's going to push out of the site. The timing on this is working out great for Space Soldiers, since they're going to go in as soon as Barbar leaves the site. He's taking it with Despy back out in mid instead, but he's going to win that one too. Finally brought down a little bit low, at least to 19 HP, but oh, wow, what was that? Goes right back into the site. Anybody's looking at the door and he's a dead man, counting his lucky stars that neither Engine or Tugux were checking it there, but Calais also has the advantage position here versus players back from Space Soldiers here out at mid. That's going to take him down. Engine goes for the plant. He's forced back away. But with Paz dead, it is going to be tough to hold in this bomb site, especially with him having control of the tunnels there. Tugux will try to challenge it. He actually wins that battle, but he takes heavy damage. And there's Draken on the way in. The first one and the second one for him. A quick 90-degree spin to find that second kill. And he's going to close out on the gun round here. 4-0 start for Epsilon.
Calais' flanking ability is probably one of the things that I have to highlight in this round, despite him only getting one frag. But he just gets the frag in middle and opens up all the tunnels area, and then he gets so much damage done to the last guy that, well, basically allows Draken to clutch it in the end with an assist there as well. But look at this from Santaris. This is how you want to go into tunnels and kill these aggressive CTs.
It's unfortunate that the plan really didn't align with this one, though, as really he's just lurking here watching out for aggression. He's able to punish it. It's surprising that he gets 2 kills, and his team tries to rotate into that, but it's just the way that the timing and all of that works out allows for Epsilon's players to punish that before they even get into the bomb site with the plant. So a good comeback there from Epsilon. Well, it's close at the end. They still close out on the clutch with a good play there from Draken.
So here we go. Once again, Space Soldiers trying the buy once more. Some utility to spare here, but they have not decided where they want to go yet. Bomb is still dropped in that corner near T-spawn on a long house, but now it's picked up. So as it looks right now, this could be a kind of like this A split through short with heavy short control, but with Draken being on short, I don't see that happening. So potentially Space Soldiers maybe trying to take mid control, and then maybe do a split B in the end.
And they will again
Yes.
themselves over here down towards the bottom of the mid itself. They've got control of that, but this is just your basic setup now for any T-side on this map. This isn't anything special here. Epsilon, though, giving them a little bit more respect, but certainly expecting some play at mid, as we can see a lot of attention being drawn to that right now, and they're not wrong to do it. The problem's going to be if they end up going in towards A. You do have Draken in the fadeaway spot up on top of bricks, but beyond that, there's actually not a whole lot of defenses here, so cat play would be kind of the optimal situation for Space Soldiers currently.
Let's see here. Thinking about what they want to do right now. Flashes and smokes go into mid. So this is going to be the B split. One player, that is Barbar, in CT spawn, but he cannot get up in those crates, so he's forced to stay behind the smoke. And there we go. Finally gets up on those crates. But Terrorist knows what's up, or at least they think they know, but Barbar just come in and rinses them off that CT mid. Luckily for Space Soldiers, Santaris is still alive, and he's just fragging everywhere.
And that will open up the B side finally here. Rotations are going to be on the way, and actually, apologies, no, Freddy B still in the site itself there. Taking down Tugux, Draken finishes off Santaris, and for Freddy B, he's just looking for this last kill, wasting time, doesn't get it, but look at the timer. Yeah. Only 7 seconds left. Despy's got to cross to be able to pick it up, and yeah, there's going to be no time left. Despy knows this is running out of the site, and Epsilon will take it away there. Despy's going to have to run out. And we will see a 5-0. Epsilon cannot be stopped currently.
If I was Space Soldiers, I might actually contemplate taking a pause already in this game, because nothing has worked out for them, to be honest, so far in this game. And you mentioned they have to start out strong to get that confidence rolling. They are down in confidence, and they need to get something, like, some things has to work out for them in order to them to build like a future on this map. 5-0 for Epsilon right now is not looking good. They are forcing into this one as well, so they will be on an eco if they lose this, but the loss bonus is, well, of course, great if you're behind 0-5, so constant stream of money coming in for Space Soldiers, but it doesn't really matter if you can't convert that to rounds.
Tugux getting aggressive here, finding some great damage on the Barbar, and he's hit with another flashbang. That'll send him back. That's a free rifle for these guys. I don't think we're going to see them following through. And actually, nope, they're going in. They're going for the cat play, but So the initial flash is way too slow of a follow-up, and Draken, this is a shooting gallery for him. Those are 3 very easy kills that move in sequence, and he immediately turns the tides of battle here. Paz and Engine, what are they going to do now? Pushing out to mid. Paz, he has this rifle. This is one of the 2 rifles they still have to work with here, so they can try to pave a way into this B bomb site after they find that frag. They're not actually going to go through with the entire mid hit, though. They just back away for a moment. They're now trying to figure out how exactly they want to play this.
Yeah, Kelly with the flank right now. He's going to look into middle and find one, surely. Yeah,
the bomb, too.
The bomb going down. Engine now all alone. And as Engine will try his very best to survive this, but he's probably not gonna, as Callie just pushes behind him. I have to say that that short push after getting the first frag, in my opinion, is a sign of desperation from Space Soldiers already. Because usually, if you pick up that rifle, you want to go back. You actually almost called it before it happened, and I was thinking the same thing. That's what they need to do. They need to pick up the rifle, regroup, and hit somewhere else. But they were just, okay, we got the frag. I'm short. Let's just go in, and that's the desperation in them, like talking, because they are behind 0-5 now, 6-5. Oh, 0-6, excuse me. Math is hard. So they're kind of like, not really sure if they can do this, and they're not thinking correctly, and that's what you need to do. You need to take a break and just focus again.
Rifle's also kind of last up the bat there too, which is a bit weird because it basically sends those 2 players with pistols to their deaths, hoping they can get a lucky shot off onto him or something, or a really clutch shot, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to rely on that in most situations, and then they end up wasting the rifle as Xantares goes for the 3rd peak.
Yeah. Decision making not really being the forte of Space Soldiers in these couple of last rounds, so I'm hoping for the team coach, the manager, Hardstyle, who is a very intelligent person. He knows this team incredibly well, to take a timeout very soon to get these guys to focus and know exactly, okay, what are we running, why are we doing it, and in situations to do the correct mid-round calls so they don't just push into their death and sacrifice themselves to the god that is, right here is Resonated. The last round is Draken.
Resonated, a quiet game so far with the op in hand, as we saw previously back over on Cash. He can pull off some incredible stuff, and that's Tugux being destroyed here in the early round with a shot through the doorway.
Yeah.
Traces it, spots him before, is able to figure out the trajectory of it, does some mental math, and finds the shot to be able to take him down. Nicely played, and that will give Epsilon the advantage once again. But Space Soldiers still certainly trying to line themselves up for a count hit, but continuously getting blocked off. The smoke first, now the Molotov.
Yeah. And they have 3 Molotovs remaining, so they can just continue to do this. And there's just no way the Space Soldiers are going to be able to hit this side without at least walking through 1 Molotov or 1 flashbang. And here we go. They're just going to drop into CT, but Drake is here.
Xantares, though, is the thing, because he wasn't actually scoped in for it. So Draken is going to be completely surprised as he wraps back around the corner, but Barbar saves him. That's going to knock out Xantares. And Despy moving in here, he actually saves this hit. Moving up, he's picked up 1 kill. He's forced Draken back, but then Draken, the peek out of nowhere, and catches Engine as he tries to jump and dodge these shots. Engine just gives himself away to the Death God, and that Death God is Draken.
15-1. 15-1.
7 rounds in. That's over 2 FPR right now.
Yeah, and he's only died once. And that was in the pistol round where he got the 4K and just died to the last guy. He hasn't died since. Draken is just running on all cylinders right now. Epsilon are beasting through Space Soldiers and looking like they're going to take an easy 2-0 so far. Space Soldiers needs to fix their problems right now. This is not good. The decision making is not good. Some of their shots are actually hitting, so that part is working for them. But the general team play and the decision making is not up to, the usual level we see from them.
Space Soldiers, again, just going to send everybody out towards long, but hey, this might be crows to the slaughter for Draken if they don't deploy utility correctly again. And utility is another problem because they got 1 flashbang.
Yeah.
And they're going to go for a long hit. 1 smoke, too. Oh, he almost gets that hit.
It's almost like they want Draken to have all these frags.
Oh, this is going to be rough. I think Draken is a little bit suspicious that they're being cap played, but he's got more than enough teammates to watch out for that one. Falling back, they are going to toss the flashbang over on top there, as we can see, to start their push in, but even there, a bit hesitant. Draken will give himself a smoke to work with. He's got this little corner. He can jump up on top and look for these shots here. Hiding inside of it. His teammate can call it, but that's a nice entry from Xantares. The immediate headshot to Freddy, and Draken goes down too. So Space Soldiers, it was hesitant, but the CT's own smoke is allowing this to work. Callie with 1 trade, but now Engine trading it back. But Space Soldiers in control. The Molotov could force some guys into the open, but now they've got the up, dropping for their teammate previously. Barber tries to make an impact from inside, but it's not looking good. And in a moment here, if they don't make an impact, they'll more than likely have to fall back and save. So it's a different idea. He just goes right in and finds Paz. There's one man down. Barbar re-enters back over there on Cat. He had given up, it seems, but all of a sudden they're back into it. And an almost shot, but it seems Tuguk saved his teammate. Now Barbar moving in, and that looks like a little bit of team damage. He's going to go for this defuse. 6 HP. He's ducking down. Despy, I don't even think he knows he's going for it. He's trying to rush up. Oh! Despy through the smoke, gets the headshot, and just barely saves that round. Finally there, Space Soldiers getting on the board, but look how close that was.
Yeah, let's face that. That was a close one, as well as Space Soldiers winning all the initial battles, and they can't just trust on their aim carrying them through all these initial battles. That was not a great round tactically speaking. It was only because of their aim was so crisp on that Space Soldier side. So if they can continue winning battles, of course that's going to get them rounds, but in the long run it's not going to work out for them. Epsilon's still the clearly better team so far.
And again, it's a bit weird in the way that works out, since the hit comes mainly off of the utility of Epsilon, because they smoke themselves off, so they can't stop a lot of that or detect it. Bit unfortunate there. Good attempt at it, but the player back over there in the corner that's supposed to spot a lot of it there goes down. Barbar with the aggressive play, gets 1 kill. Thankfully, Space Soldiers have themselves in a good position to set up for trade. Draken again, though. Oh, no. Xantares blinds himself, and he goes right out into the open there where Draken's going to get the timing shot. Spotted the second player there at top mid a moment ago, but he's flashed again, and now he's trying to throw out his own flashbang here. Holding away. He hasn't realized that Engine's gone out yet. The missed option, though, he takes it, and oh no, he's out into the open. There's where Engine's going to be able to punish. Despy also waiting for this peek to come in from Kali. They're going to take him down, and it goes to a 1v3 for Freddy.
Okay, so this round actually really worked out well for Space Soldiers. They took the mid control, and now A bomb side is completely clear. They're actually going to go run the bomb all the way from long, so taking the safe choice here. Making Freddy B just wait and question himself a little bit. Okay, he's in this 1v3 now. But the terrorists have Molotov, a grenade, and 2 smokes, as well as a flashbang. So much utility, apart from the fact that they have 3 rifles to work with. Freddy B only with 2 flashbangs. Technically, I would like to see him save here.
And I believe that's the path he's going to take now, as he moves away back over in towards mid there. There's still an op on the ground. There's still a big gun to save here. And with the way Epsilon have been crushing these rounds, I imagine the money is sitting in a pretty good place for them right now. Yeah, looking at it now on the scoreboard, it's looking pretty good here for most of them.
And that is kind of like the decision you have to make. Okay, we might be in the lead and we might have like 10 or 12k on each player. I'm not exactly sure how the money's looking right now. But if you're not on 16k and you have this kind of situation and you know that Space Soldiers are a great team that can come back at any time, I actually really like the choice of saving here, which some of the players might not disagree with that. Okay, we look at the money, it's not that good actually, so this is a great choice then. I was kind of questioning if they had money enough to buy.
They have enough to force it already, though. I mean, they still have the op save. That one save kind of sort of justifies it.
It's actually, it's quite impressive that they had basically a 7-0 lead for a long time. And they don't like rack up more money than that. Of course, losing 2 rounds in a row will deteriorate the economy, but yeah.
You said it quite a few rounds ago that the rounds have been close. I think it's saves here. Now they're going to rush out the tunnels. This is a different style from Space Soldiers, and it's working out. Red's going down. Paz moving himself in there. It takes him a minute to spot Freddy, but he still knocks him out there. No players from Space Soldiers getting taken down at all. Barbar hunting with the Deagle, but it does not seem like they're going to be able to do anything. This is going to be an early save call again, since the 2 or 3 left alive, or 2 of the investments they did have there, and that saved up.
So, here we go, Barbar and Kali on the retake. Draken is probably going to just stay back and save that AWP to the next round. And I have to say, really well played by Space Soldiers. Once again, we do see one of the things that Space Soldiers need in order to win this game, or at least take it back, is Paz coming in. And Paz with the entry frags this time around just absolutely demolishes Epsilon. And that is what they need. They need Paz to come up huge with those entries. Kali is actually going to get 2 here. Going to go for a 3rd one. Going to do a ton of damage as well. Barbar finally downed, but this is a great save, or great exit frags coming in from Epsilon. They're just saying no to all those weapons. Space Soldiers not going to bring that into the next round. Oh, so close to getting another one. Took us on 34 and Pass on 28.
Wasn't Kali the guy that went off with like a 4K on the last map too with another SMG?
Yep, Kali and the UMP, the best friends in the world.
Yeah, so Kali certainly showing his skills with that gun there. Once again, making the money stay very, very low here for Space Soldiers. But obviously that force up from Epsilon is not going to leave them with any extra cash here, so they're going to be down with just that op that was saved, and beyond that, again, it's going to be pretty minimal.
Oh.
Pass Cat, though, and they're going to take a risk on this one, too. Only one player going for it, and Paz way up on top, but expecting this player to jump in, and oh, just barely. The op player dodges that one.
This
he
is
still takes the hit, however, and there's Freddy. There's the second player moving in there, gets the first kill. Tugux making a bit of a mess of that one there. He's able to dodge it, attempt to line up from Freddy, but Tugux is able to punish.
Really like that when you have the boost and then one player going quickly, then you have the Deagle player just following him straight up. They're not going to expect two players rushing that same position just in the same time. So he gets surprised with the Deagle and, well, gets a kill as well, and that's a good start for Epsilon. They're now 4v4. Of course, it's not as good of a situation as it could have, of course, hoped for with the pistols being low and everything, but with the fact that they have a full save apart from Drake, and that is a good start. And
Barbar looking for his opportunity to go and peek back over here, but not really finding the chance at it anytime soon here. Xantares, as we can see, stuck over here behind the Xbox. Maybe one of the few players that can try and take these guys down in mid, and he's hunting for it. They got to be a little bit cautious though, since Epsilon still have a lock on the positioning, and we've seen them back on Cash being able to win rounds like this before too. So things are certainly not secure even when we have Epsilon on an eco here. Now though, the time's getting low, so it is time for Space Soldiers to move in to the site. Preparing for the push in now, and Resonator sitting on the other side, up on top. I think actually going to check this position. He's been quiet about it, and there's the first pickup, but no one else following through. He's got to jump back down. Damage done by his teammate, but unfortunately, everybody else peeking out. Despy and Xantares grabbing 2 more frags. Callie in a 1v2, but he's got Despy low. If he can find him first, then all it takes is 1 or 2 more shots on his Xantares to clutch it out. And he's just found the op, which actually may send him into a save, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was going for that up. He knew exactly where Draken died, and then was able to go and pick that up and just basically save that into the next round. So Epsilon are gonna go from a 7-0 lead to a 7-4 scoreline, 4 rounds in a row. Drop to Space Soldiers, who have been looking okay, looking decent after a horrible start here in Dust 2.
Yeah, so finally kind of getting their footing here, but it comes after a long string of rounds from Epsilon now, which still puts them in a very secure position, especially on Dust 2, where we expect the even scoreline. Even if Space Soldiers make that huge run there, more than likely they'll still be good at the end of this half here, assuming they bring a good T side to the table. Epsilon themselves, of course, now going back into another buy round, so we have their chance to get back into the winning situation here and capitalize on Space Soldiers' mistakes. But it seems that Space Soldiers are, over these past few rounds, they've been using their utility a lot better. They've been taking things a lot more slowly, and just gauging their aggression into a way better result too. They've been investigating that B site a little bit more directly through the tunnels, and I think that's been one of the weak spots here from Epsilon. They've only just now realized it, but obviously it's allowing them to come back a bit, as we can see from the scoreline.
Yeah, Space Soldiers usually have a very, very strong T side here in Dust 2, so I'm kind of technically I'm counting on them to grab the rest of the rounds here to get that 8-7 because usually statistically they win out on their T sides on Dust 2, which is kind of a surprise that it is slightly stacked in favor to the CTs. But Space Soldiers having this terrible start is just a wrench in the gears for them. But right now they're looking to bring it back. But in their way stands Epsilon and Barbar, especially trying to bang through that smoke. But it is a full buy from Epsilon, and that is going to be the problem. Can they handle this?
Barbar spawning quite a bit of it, and now he's going to push himself behind the wall here. Draken also placing himself around the corner. He needs to be very, very cautious of those potential cat hits, and the cat dive too that could come in with that smoke that was just thrown out there. Look at Resonator going right into the tunnels. He's even got support from Freddy. There's nothing out the tunnel, so they're going to choose to push it, and Barbar with perfect timing wraps in just as Xantares had his back turn. No one else from up on top of the catwalk either was watching for that one, and he's going to be ready for more to push their way out. He's got support from across the way, but right now it's just him, Freddy, finding the kill, and Red's moving in to bail out his teammate after he goes down, picks up those last 2, ends up with a 3 kill on the round, and it's Epsilon that hold control. Now the pause comes in from Space Soldiers. They won that sequence of 4, but then immediately losing it here now still puts them right back where they started.
I just love the fact when players rotate into those crossfire positions in these positions where you know that, okay, the turrets are probably going to come in 5 or 10 seconds. Let's set up a crossfire, and when that crossfire just works, this is perfect. This makes me a happy CS viewer. On the other side of things that aren't making me happy is the fact that Space Soldiers will be on this kind of a force round. They have 1 player on 8k, 1 player on 4k, and the rest are going to, well, either do pistols or need drops. So we might see Despate drop in 1 or 2 AKs if he's not buying the AWP for himself.
Well, should expire here in a moment, but Space Soldier with a struggle. Unfortunately, you need to find a way to consistently pick these up. Epsilon obviously have the lead guaranteed coming out of the half now, and also the double op setup coming back in too. Barbar with the op. Draken obviously still a force to be reckoned with. I don't imagine Space Soldiers, I mean, obviously we'll probably see it 1 or 2 more times before the half ends, but I don't really think Space Soldiers are going to want to test themselves against Draken before. Draken again, I should say.
So here we go. Barbar and Draken with those AWPs. Despe with his AWP, and that means that it's not going to be a third AK on that T side. That means they're going to play with 2 pistols. Glock on engine, and he's going Glock and full armor and utility. That is a strange decision.
So, it is weird too in the way that they've been using their utility.
Yeah.
But Draken again now waiting for someone to peek from either Xbox or Cat. I can see Paz is kind of waiting for it too. The flashbang though, Draken looking a little bit fidgety here at mid. Falls back really quickly. They're not even close to executing yet. And he's going to toss the smoke in a little bit to the right, but I think it still blocks off the entire angle. And Paz now waiting with his own smoke here to give them access to the site. Bomb shots firing across the map as we can hear them, but none of them connecting onto either side. And Epsilon still trying to figure out as Space Soldiers keep very quiet where exactly they're going to be moving towards to make their hit.
Here we go. Smokes and flashes fall in. Paz trying to pre-fire that CT angle, but of course Draken has rotated into a different angle. Barbar though with this AWP on the other side of the smoke here.
And Barbar's scared. Again, he's the only one here to defend this bomb site. And they've got a player pushing along too, so if we see Kale lose his duel, Barbar's trapped. There's nowhere to retreat. In theory, if this would end up being an A hit, but I think it's going the other way again. Since they got out to mid free here, they haven't smoked CT. And this is basically an op gauntlet in mid. There's the smoke, finally. Zentari's pushing in, though, and he finds Draken. Now it's wide open on that bomb site. Rez is going to be the only one that can defend this. Despy finds Freddy, too. Rez is going to go into that smoke, but spotted by Tugux. He's going to take him down before he can get anywhere further into the tunnels there. And that's pretty much the round secure. Great stuff from Space Soldiers. Zentari's again finding that big entry. And by denying any additional damage from Resonator there, they do allow themselves a free ticket into a 5th round.
And to be honest, Epsilon made the right decision there. They have stacked actually 3 players on that B bomb side. They even had the AWP in the defensive angle, so he wouldn't be smoked and or flashed out in middle. But he missed the shot. Zentari's is absolutely crushing him. And then the players rushing in from Tolan getting the first frag as well. And now it's all of a sudden 4 against 1 basically on that B bomb side. And that is incredibly hard to hold. So once again we have the Space Soldiers round where it's not the best of executions to the fact that they were actually executing on the side with 3 CTs, but their duels just make them win. And Centaurus opening once again is such a huge factor that he can take out the AWP. You could easily imagine Draken taking out 2 or 3 kills from that position, but Centaurus just comes in with that almost pre-fire. He's definitely sure of where the AWP is hiding, and he just gets that opening and gets that bomb site.
And so with that, Space Soldiers have found their way into the game again now. They invest. Epsilon will respond just as aggressively. They want to try and shut them down so they can go for this 10-5 half here. And they're going to send Fast Cats out towards mid. And that's been the staging area for Space Soldiers for a very long time now, and they know it. But 2 of them are pushing in towards Cat. Paz finding Draken there. He tries to crouch away, but there's no escape. Paz able to jump on that, and no teammates available to bail these guys out. Now the A site is going to be a problem. But Kale able to hold for 1. Zentares is pushing out towards long. He responds. Tugux moving in. He grabs Resonator from down below. It's just Barbar sitting on the site now, and he's surrounded from all corners. He's going to try to move out and battle Tugux, though. There's a Molotov in the way, stopping it. And oh, he thinks he's being sneaky beneath that Molotov. But Tugux is going to spot him, eliminate him, and it all falls to Freddy in a 1v3. The first player doesn't even get that one. He gets through the cross, taking no damage along the way. Now Freddy's been revealed.
Yeah, Freddy B has to close just 1v3 with only a flashbang to go, so this is going to be incredibly difficult. Also with the fact that they have Centaurus and Pit with his AK-47, of course, on 19 HP, don't want to take any opening duels. And there it is for Despe. So I have been giving Space Soldiers a lot of flag for their decision making and their strategical choices throughout this map, but in that round that was just perfect. They know that the CTs like to do this quick short push. What do you do to counter that? You run up with 2 AKs who has a good spawn and just take him out before he can even get a shot off.
Well, Barbar with an interesting pickup that will be a bad in there. He bought the dualies and then tossed them away. And is instead going to work with a Deagle. A good choice, I imagine. Yeah. Thankfully, we're in the last round, so not really any long-term economical effects coming in there. But as we can see, Despy lining up the shot on Freddy. Saw him peek in there, and he's going to get the kill through the door. Zantari is also as well with a great spray transfer. Not only finding Barbar initially, but then grabbing Kale as well. Unfortunately, Epsilon here falling apart a little bit. After a perfect start from them, Space Soldiers take a pause. They're able to respond. Draken getting wrecked right there. And they will be able to make it a close half, as close as it can be, up to 8-7.
Yeah, definitely. And I was trying to look in my crystal ball and predict how the rest of the first half was going to go, because usually Space Soldiers have really strong T side here in Dust2. I was saying it's going to be 8-7 for them. It's the other way around, but still, after being behind 0-7, getting a 7-8 halftime scoreline is pretty good. It's probably as good as you could probably expect from Space Soldiers.
Yeah, definitely. So a good bounce back from those guys, and now it all comes down to that second half, however, in terms of how both of these teams are able to weight it. We saw a great pistol round performance on the CT side here from Epsilon. Huge heroics from Draken, but kind of like some of the other stuff from Draken, it's a bit weird. Is, you know, he's there for that like 7-round streak, and then he's kind of not there for the rest of the half.
Yeah, he's either hot or cold. He's not like lukewarm in the middle. He's either just going off and getting 16 frags and 1 death, or just not getting anything done.
So with that, obviously, we saw him still leading the frag kind of thing for his team, but it definitely decimated away from that 2 FPR he had around round number 8 there. And yeah, here's Xantares again with that nice spray transfer. Perfecto.
Perfecto.
They will get their 7th, but of course, we go right into the second half now. And we'll take a look to see if Epsilon can regain the strength they had, or Space Soldiers still have a little bit of fight left in them to take this to a third and final map to see who is going to go.
That is beautiful.
Going to go on to fight for that final spot at the actual qualifier. Paz, though, finding Barbar early on does not look so good for Epsilon here. And Xantares as well. Kali tries to peek, but clotheslined by Xantares.
The dream is still alive for the yellow stickers right now. Space Soldiers just absolutely wrecking Epsilon in this pistol round. Draken and Resonator, the 2 remaining players for the Swedish side, and Xantares once again just double frag here. Res just in the most impossible situation, 1v5 in that round, and Paz just clicks yet another player, doesn't even lose a single point of health, just wrecks them at long.
And with that, there you have it now. A tie game and an advantage for Space Soldiers, going in the opposite direction from what we had at the beginning of this one. They round the comeback. They look like they're defeated. They look like they've lost everything, but a pause is taken. And although it's a bit of a struggle, they do get their way back into the match. Epsilon, though, while not finding anything in that first round, they are just going to force into this second here with the exception of Draken. Everybody buying out. So Deagle armor buys, a Tech 9 for Khaled. And we will see how this works out for these guys. But nothing too crazy being done. Again, for the most part, just the default opener on the T side. I'll group up there outside of the mid doors and then kind of play it by ear from there.
One thing to note is that, of course, Draken got that huge streak in the beginning, but since that streak happened, he has not gotten a single frag. He was on 16-1, I think, or 15-1, and he's on 16-8 now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he pretty much was non-existent for the entire second quarter of the match there. And Barbar's going to move in, finds Engine, so maybe something for Epsilon to work with here. That's only a long, though. The other 2 actually are going to shift away from A, and there's a 4-man cat push. They've been on this so hard from Barbar. And look, he's going to push in, they take him down, but they've lost the platform. They're all up on the site. Thankfully, these are long-range duels, so yeah, Paz. Whoa, Paz tapping away at these kills. Draken and Rez both get knocked out. I was a bit worried that they were going to be able to overwhelm them there on long, but it seems they get control of the situation anyway here, and it'll be a 9th for Space Soldiers unless Kali comes out with something crazy here.
Come on, Kali, you can do it.
He's got 1 kill.
But still, they get 1 kill, actually 2 kills in that round. They get the bomb down, so it's not all terrible. It could be way worse, but with the investment they made, they probably aimed for a tad more there. Space Soldiers will finally take the lead for, well, the first time in this game, pretty much, on this map, to be honest, as they go up 9-8.
Yeah, with that now, we'll give the guys from Space Soldiers a really good amount of control since they avoid the second round upset. And obviously this takes us into the crapshoot round, the trash round, all sorts of names for it for Epsilon here. Decent investment actually, so it's a little bit better than the average NA version of this round, but hey.
That's what we do in Europe. That's how we do things.
That is, however, because they fully invested, going to limit their utility on the gun run, though. So a bit of a risk being taken in that regard and their ability to actually pick up some frags here.
And that's actually pretty, as we talk NAEU, pretty anti-EU-esque, just going for the firepower instead of the utility. Usually teams go for setups and stuff like that instead of just buying fire deagles. But this time around, Epsilon is just thinking, YOLO, let's see what we can do. So far, it's not looking good at all. They're just getting gunned down.
Xantares, after he picked up that 1 kill, is having a little bit of trouble, but still in the lead, definitely. This battle here runs out of ammo, though, and now, Paz with the bailout over there on the ramp position. Saves Xantares' life. Let's get that reloaded with 3 HP. He's going to survive the round, and everybody on Space Soldiers stays alive. So they go for that damage, but it doesn't really work out. So like I said here, they've got the basic kit, but like looking for like any of those advanced nades beyond Barbar and Freddy's, we can see it's not really going to be plausible here. Just 2 Molotovs beyond the usual smoke and flashbang investments.
One important thing is that Draken is on the AWP and he does have the body armor as well, and one flashbang, so he can flashbang himself out of situations, and he does have the armor for the AWP. And oh, that's a good hit onto Despay, down to 52, but we need more from Draken. He needs to just emulate some of what he did in that first half. But Engine once again with the huge aggressive CT plays, double frag.
Flushing out towards Lung there, and Engine again finding those pickups there. Freddy B with the response, but it's not going to be enough to allow Epsilon to still push out and feel like they can hold a position there on Lung. They're going to flood back and just stick to their side of the map for right now. But even in mid, I mean, Resonator, as we can see, moving up there, he finds Tugux, thankfully. It was kind of in a hesitant battle, so that gives them a little bit more wiggle room to move around the map, but still needing to make a decision in terms of where they're going to take it. It seems like B is the bomb site, which has been relatively untested so far. They've got Despy on it. He was a player that was shot through the doorway, so he's only got 50 HP. I mean, at most, all they have now is Engine at 55, and Paz, at some point here, got brought down to 5.
Yeah, and on the other hand, we have Epsilon on 78 and 100 on Draken, so it's looking quite good for them if they can do a coordinated hit to one of these bomb sites and kind of flush out the CT in that position. They do have flashbangs and smoke, so they can do that in the end. They have plenty of time, though. With 45 seconds to go, they have plenty of time to decide where they want to go. So one CT play in pit and one on the A site. And it looks like that is going to be the choice for Epsilon. It's going to be an A hit.
Resonator sneaking his way up. They change away from that B site play that they were looking at initially, and now as they move in here, Paz is lit, but he hasn't given himself away yet, and there's the peek up from him. At least one more to chain together. Rez, while still blind, gets that kill, however, on the Paz when he tries to re-peek back up. Nicely done on the pre-fire there, and Paz, unfortunately, just running right into it. But Engine as well, ready for the play at pit, finds his third kill of the round. Draken looking to clutch, but a missed shot. That'll spell doom for him. He goes down, and 4K from Engine keeps Space Soldiers in control of the situation.
Not quite sure if they had a deeper plan with that, but that looked very uncoordinated from Epsilon. They have two players facing off against the one player in pit, or at least the potential of the one player in pit, and they don't peek him at the same time. It could be that, well, they wanted to get the bomb down and then force the player out of pit, and then Draken could take him down. But then again, like, you have the chance of eliminating him, and you just don't take that chance. So that will make Space Soldiers on 11-8, and I really agree with the tactical pause coming out there from Krille, the Epsilon team manager / coach, who's obviously talking to the guys right now and telling them, okay, guys, don't worry, we can still do this. We're only behind with 3 rounds. We're going to have a pistol round now, which is not going to probably be a round win, but the next one is so key for us to win. The economy is not that great for Space Soldiers either. He knows this. He does the math, trust me. And they have a chance now. They just need to focus, and we saw on the first map on Cash that they have the individual quality and the team play to take down Space Soldiers, but not if they keep playing like this.
And so this will send us into another unfortunately probably minimalist round from Epsilon here. But they are actually going for a bit of a fast play here, and Paz just goes right into the open for it there. That is going to allow Freddy B to catch a trade under Paz, finds a first kill, but unfortunately they've got not a lot of utility to utilize here out on Long itself. Despy will get a 2-for-1 before he goes down, and obviously all the time wasted here is bought time for the rotations to move in. Xantari's out into the middle, takes down Draken, and Resonator, well, he'll have a pretty much impossible task in front of him here. Xantari's getting knocked out. If he can take out Tugux, he's certainly got the chance at it.
Yeah.
However, after finding that kill, he backs up a little bit to watch for this flank.
This is not the worst 1v2 in the world, to be honest. He has the bomb, he has 10 seconds to go. And Engine on 7 HP as well, and apart from the double smoke and the Molotov, there's not that much utility remaining. They only have 1 kit, so they have to communicate the location of the kit. But look at that, Tugix with the aggressive peek. No, Res just gets him, and that, oh, this could be dangerous.
He's waiting on the other side, though. He's got to have the intuition to go and check outside, and right now he's not. He's walking right past it here. Engine's got the lineup, but how do you miss that? Does he realize it, though? Resonator's rushing over here. I think he's going to go through the doorway to chase him back over. He's just going to head over to Erze since he knows he's outside, and he's going to take it slow when he encroaches back out onto the site. So Rez certainly realizes what just occurred there, and Engine may have just thrown away his chance to clutch this out.
Oh, wow. What a miss from Engine. Flashbang on the side as well. For Res.
The good news is he doesn't waste time like going out onto the B-bomb site. I think he immediately... No.
Oh. Well, with the smoke going down, he must hear this. Or will he?
Maybe not. Nope.
Okay, he doesn't.
Okay, now he gets the flash, but then Rez just runs out and wrecks him anyway. So there you go. Epsilon steal that one away out of the hands of Space Soldiers. I said there was no chance, but I can eat my words now. The 1v3 from Rez starts it off with a direct long encounter against all three of the members of Space Soldiers. He's able to take a 1v1 from there, and then things just go spiraling out of control when he gets the kill on his Xantari. He's back at top mid.
And to be honest, I'm probably going to get some flack from the Turkish community here, but that shot from Engine, he should just have hit that. There's just no way he should not have had that.
Yeah, it's wide out in the open there, and unfortunately he just doesn't time it properly, so misses his chance. Bit of a whiff from him there. That will give Epsilon their route to get back into this game here. Also, an early shot on the Tuguks brings him down low to 36 HP. And also completely abandoning the mid defenses too because of this shot. Now it's going to let these guys from Epsilon out in the mid. Pass is going to have to try to push in here. Hopefully no one's watching it. Yeah, they're going to get the flank shot, but no kills initially. They traded out, and now they're rolling right into this B bomb site. They got the warning on that so late. I doubt these B defenders could have really prepared for that mid play, since they had no mid defenses. They left it wide open, and those guys got so close to the doors before we even saw that player right back into CT and catch it.
So after the pause, the hero player from Rez comes out, brings Epsilon on a 9, and then the full buy afterwards leaves them in a 3v2 post-plant scenario, which they are probably going to win unless Space Soldiers try something magical.
SB. Oh, gets the shot through the box actually there, so hold on. They may have a chance. They got quite a few of these guys live, but they got to make a move now if they're going to go for it, and no utility. They don't seem to have what they need to get in there, so they do decide to pull away from it. They're going to fall back and save, and they'll let Epsilon have this one. They'll let them get up to 10, and again, within one round of tying this match up.
Yeah, so here we go. Epsilon, that pause was just phenomenal, to be honest. That was exactly also, of course, the win from Rez, which they didn't really count on, but the whole basically combination of those two things was exactly what Epsilon needed to get back into this game. Draken still sitting on 16, so that is the last thing they need in order for them to be in a position where they can win this game. Draken needs to go off again. Not as sick as he did at the beginning, but just play a decent, good AWP, and he has that AWP now, so he needs to make the difference.
They're waiting for it, and there's the cross shot, and it's a headshot on the Tuguks, but Dust2 sits there, waits for the repeat, and he gets it. So
I was about to say that was the difference, but then again,
here comes Epsilon out into the open here. They've got Xantaris completely blind in the corner. That first kill, though, that's what made the B-side defense so weak. So now Dust2's got no choice to try and push back over here. He can't see anything. That's full site control, 4v3, no utility for Space Soldiers. Pretty sure they're going to save again.
Well, okay, I take that back. The difference in that kill, if he hadn't died, then it would have been a clear-cut, like, MVP of all time.
I mean, the trade certainly, as you can see there, favors Epsilon to a huge degree because
yeah,
it kills
definitely
what would have otherwise been probably a second player in that site.
Exactly.
I'm not exactly sure with the pace they took it. This still might have been kind of pecking around over there towards the mid doors, but still, it's the possibility of him to have been in that bomb site that kind of kills it. And allows for Epsilon to have a huge advantage with that one there. Bit of an interesting battle with Paz there, though, sneaking in the kill into Freddy, so running a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not going to be a tie game still, so it's basically interesting to keep that in the back of their mind.
But also, if you go for like a B setup, a setup in the tunnels, and then you hear your AWP saying, okay, I got one of their players through the door, you just go on for the straight push because you know you're going to be 4 against 1, and if you all just throw 4 flashbangs out, he's not going to have any chance, and that's exactly what happened. And now we go from one pause into the other. This one is going to be from Space Soldiers, and now they're going to talk about what will go down in this one. Deathspace already bought the AWP, and we can see in the monitor that it's going to be a buy from them. So they are taking their chance of bringing it back and taking the lead once again.
So with that, now Space Soldiers need to try and figure out just what the hell they can do. As again, they're facing elimination here if they end up dropping control of this and they just let Epsilon run away with the game once more. So if they choose to invest here too is the other thing. Is that obviously it's going to put them right back down to the bottom. They do go for here, and again, it's certainly not an unwise decision. They can pretty much get everybody up with full M4s and everything like that. Utility's going to be low for some guys, but it's still overall a very justifiable one. Tuguks, unfortunately, is going to be kind of the worst off, I imagine, but as you can see, pretty much the same thing as Engine. Both of them down to $100 or $50 with smoke and a flashbang to try and hold off Epsilon early on. Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of a misclick there.
Forgot he wasn't on Face It.
Yeah. A little bit of a misclick there. Takes down very low. Engine's gonna just push right out though and grab these 2 kills. Resonator trades, but he cannot escape. Paz is there to support his dead teammate now. He picks up the additional kill onto Resonator, and we're already down to 2 from Epsilon, and these CTs have bomb control. Engine again with these aggressive CT-sided plays may just save Space Soldier's lead.
And he also smokes off the bomb, but at least tries to and holds down the terrorists even more, excuse me. Draken picks up the bomb, actually using that smoke, so that was not a good CT smoke in the end as Draken picks up the bomb. But look, he's boxed in. On the other side, we do have Tugux. So Draken has to find a frag either way, but Barbar has sneaked his way into that A bomb site, and he might take out Paz in the pit. Oh, no, okay. Paz doesn't care.
Paz finding the shot, and the second follow-up kill there. That brings Space Soldiers right back down to reality.
Once again, one of these things that Space Soldiers need in order to take this victory is Paz and Despain. Despain has been good so far, very effective on that AWP. Paz has gotten a lot of kills, but he's also died a lot. So it's not like he's winning 2v1s constantly and surviving in rounds. He's taken 1v1 so far and winning that and then dying afterwards. But this time around, he gets the 3k. He survives as well and he does that for his team. So that's working out in their favor now. 1 round lead for Space Soldiers. Centaur's already down to 51. Draken is so good at hitting those shots through the walls.
Epsilon, as you can see that from the player reaction cam too, not really happy with how they end up dropping that there.
Yeah.
Since how quickly things kind of spiral out of control in the favor of Engine and getting that aggressive push there and getting so many of those kills. Should not have happened usually, but now Resonator, he's going to make up for that one, pushing his way out towards mid. And again, the defenses are very weak here, and they're going to realize Paz is the player to rotate. Not only this, but Freddy B in the site catches Tugux. That, again, Epsilon, B site's the key easily here.
Yeah.
Every time they go for it, it's just a shutdown and almost an immediate force save from Space Soldiers.
It's also because Space Soldiers, as you said early on in this cast, that they just, in these maps like this, they just don't think about the mid. Just let someone else get control of mid. And if you give Epsilon the control of mid and let them walk out 2 players, even without dropping the smoke, they can just walk out. And then they can do the B split. And there's just nothing Space Soldiers can do because Epsilon, when they're basically 4v2 or something like that going to the B bomb side, it's going to be incredibly hard unless some hero plays comes out from some of the Space Soldiers player, and they can just hold, put down the smoke CT, hold the pushing CTs, and just basically take it down. Despain's trying his best to save this AWP. It's desperate times for Despain. And he will go down.
Oh, Res moving in there, dropping both the remaining Space Soldiers players, and that trade, that volley of rounds that ties the game again, ends up being a much worse scenario for Space Soldiers because now their economy, as you can see there, it's in the dumps. They are not really going to be able to invest here reliably unless they want to risk it.
So here we go. Res with 21 has, well, pretty much brought himself into the top fracking position after solid play throughout this game so far. Draken started off with doing a 15-1 scoreline, but Res picking up 1 frag here and there has finally made his way onto the top of the scoreboard. Barbar, though, also incredibly solid, picks up Despain to begin with. Of course, this is the pistol round from Space Soldiers, but in Centaurus with the Deagle, you can just never underestimate him.
Strike up 1. Freddy B gets the 1 shot, though. Takes down Centaurus immediately after he finds his first kill. Now, though, he's only kind of lurking on his own, but he's drawing a lot of the attention from Space Soldiers. He knows there's some guys down below here. He's going to try to pop the flashbang. At the timing on it's not going to work. He's caught without his gun out. However, no full commitment from Paz, and that's going to let Freddy B escape back around the corner here. Chasing him. Paz tries to go for the cross towards Car, but Freddy catches it just in the nick of time.
Yeah, this one is surely going to go to the way of Epsilon, with Tugas just walking through that smoke, taken out by Barbar. Last guy goes down to Freddy B, who did an amazing job of just drawing all the attention towards him and towards Long. So technically, if Space Soldiers had weapons on the last 2 players, B would have been clear and they would have just been forced into a save. So not even if they had weapons, they would have had a chance here. Just perfect play from Epsilon. Space Soldiers now on the back foot.
So again, Space Soldiers finding themselves stuck behind. Not a lot of room to maneuver here. Onto another eco for them too. Double ecoing, saving up for a big round, but I mean, it's going to come down to exactly like Cash, where they're really only going to have that 1 or 2 chances here. Fastcat, though, the potential to upset against Freddy B and take back control of mid early on, that's definitely come in and worked out for them. They weren't expecting that one at all.
Oh.
Problem being is we still had the long play coming in, and they realize that it's wide open for the taking. Also with Rez down below here, Paz finding 1 more kill. Rez still having control of the lower tunnels, but he's going to get overwhelmed too. So 3v2, they've got site control, but all 3 of the remaining Space Soldiers players also now have AKs.
This is a possible scenario. Space Soldiers could come out on top on the back of Paz, just having sick frags all around with that 5-7, that egg, and here we go.
They move up Draken. There's the 1 kill, bringing Paz down to 15 HP. He's got to be careful with the peek from the rest of these guys, though the flashbang goes out. It's perfectly aligned, and actually, Engine, it's a bit amazing. He doesn't get this kill with the angle, but just not going to play out. Kali and Draken actually close that out, and Epsilon will get their 14th.
So, once again, Paz trying to grab his team by the neck and just throw them into the bomb site and just carry them through this game, but it's just not working out, especially with all the utility remaining on those players after they took the bomb site. They had flashbangs, they had Molotov, they had everything they needed to hold this bomb site against 3 against of AKs. And Engine just is sitting in the barbecue, just dying off, and Tugus, the last man remaining, also will just walk straight into the cross, and Barbar's happy. You can just read that on his face. We have no sound on this, but you don't need sound, to be honest.
And looking good indeed to go for the Swedish rematch in just a few minutes here. They can take control of this one. And Kali pushing himself forward. It's a double lineup from him. Resonator assisting on that first kill there, but bring Kali down to 1 HP. Paz goes up onto the site, but he's forced to use his smoke here. Can't block off any of the T's. He's got to keep himself alive with it. They're not even pushing yet, but Space Soldiers biting on this one hard.
Space Soldiers, if they lose this one and the next, they are out of the minor, and they will not be at the major qualifier. They will be sent home.
Pushing himself up there is going to grab Paz, restricted to that corner, and Tuguk's trying to play 2 people at once here. He resolves to kind of fall back for a moment up against the wall, so he's not to worry about it too much. He sees that nade be tossed into. He knows someone is crossing over the platform here. The timing on this could work out, but he's the last man standing, unfortunately. Without the help of Dust2, it is going to be hard to pull off that clutch, and Epsilon get up to 15 rounds now. 1 more to go, and they keep their spot going, and they will be able to push forward to take on the now descendant Godsent.
Yeah, to be honest, they put all the eggs in one basket, Space Soldiers. They took 2 ecos in order to have this great buy. When they get that buy, they just lose it out, and now I'm having a hard time seeing this one in my crystal ball as the Space Soldiers win, with 2 Vermasters and 2 SMGs and 1 pistol against a fully bought up Epsilon, who has been pretty much firing on all cylinders throughout this last 5 or 6 rounds here. And here we go, Freddy B opening up. Look at that, that is disgusting from him onto Despay.
Freddy B, as he finds that opener here now, the rest of the team, they'll be good to push out if they want to, but again, there's hesitance. They don't want to commit. Yeah, I mean, well, there's one player. Yeah, there's one player on B. He's on in front of the minimap cut off there. Tuguk's on the left side. Still going to be able to defend as he transitions over to the car spot. It was wide open for the taking, but now Space Soldiers have adjusted. This still may work if Xantares goes out aggressively, though, but there's currently really no reason for him to do this. Waits behind the door. Freddy B will be the one to challenge him in a moment. It's hit by a flashbang, and oh, Freddy, the perfect read and the perfect flashbang, too. And Xantares is able to dodge that, but still, he's going to grab the kill. Doesn't take any damage from it. Now they've got this into a 5-on-3. Space Soldiers are spread all across the map, just trying to watch out for every possible occurrence. One of these 3 would have to pull off a hero play, depending on where Epsilon take this, but looks like it is going to be slowly shifting into a cat play here now, which makes that hero Paz.
Let's see if Paz can make this happen. Make this happen for Space Soldiers or Turkey? Yeah, he's just rotating away, so he will not be holding cat at all, and will be caught on the back foot as well. Engine doing the wrap here. With Paz picking up 1, this could actually happen.
And Paz also finding an AK to work with there too, upgrading his gun a little bit here. So 4v3 now. The odds a little bit better. Keep in mind, Kali also still very low at 1 HP. But Paz needs to strike first here. They need to draw the attention so that the flank can come in from Tuguk, since there's going to be 3 players waiting for him. He's got no utility to debate these guys out. There's the first player. There's that 1 HP guy getting knocked out. Kali going down. Barbar, though, waiting for the long hit. Engine getting destroyed here. They know Paz is somewhere downstairs. Tuguk just spraying into the smoke. So that gives away his intentions. Paz finding 1 more, but he's got to go up onto this platform, and it is planted for the 2 black guys playing at Caddy. This is not looking good. He's got to come out with a hero play, and he does not do it. Resonator shuts it down, and the guys from Epsilon push forward through the minor into the lower bracket final, taking this set 2-0 against Space Soldiers, sending the Turkish team home.
So Space Soldiers now going home. No chance for them to get into the major qualifier, and their major dreams for the E-League major in Atlanta is hereby dead.
Yes, it is. So a good tournament performance from them, but unfortunately showing up a little bit weak to the table today. Starting off that last map there with really odd utility usage and strategies across the map gives Epsilon that really great lead. They do bring it back, but then again, just the battle back and forth between those 2 teams in the second half Still, the early advantage for Epsilon seemed to ring true a little bit too much and allow them to close out the match at the end of the day.
So commiserations to Space Soldiers, who fought valiantly. We have to say that this is not a bad team at all. Space Soldiers did their very best, and they are a very, very talented team. They're just not on that edge where they can get to the major qualifier just yet. They can try it next time around, and I'm sure at some point these guys will be there, because they've been on a straight upward curve all the way since back to 2013 or 2014, where they started going to the international lands with not almost like the same core as they have right now. So they're going to get there somewhere or sometime, just not this year.
And of course, to break down this set, we're going to bring the analysts back into the conversation now. Machine, the thoughts from the desk on that match, of course.
Yeah, hey gents, how you doing? Okay, so Space Soldiers are out. That was it. Their chance, their last shot given by the desk as Dust2 didn't quite work out. You feel like they put, you said valiant effort. Do you genuinely believe that that was the best Space Soldiers could generate?
I'm not completely sure that that was the best they could do, but just in general to say that Space Soldiers, they have tried their very best, but it just wasn't good enough. I have to say Paz did his best to carry that team in the last map, but it wasn't enough. The rest of the team was not showing up.
Yeah, they didn't really show up too well, that's for certain. Especially considering, let's not forget, Space Soldiers started so well, right?
Yeah.
Like, you casted those best of ones, you saw them just glide into the upper bracket, and of course, just playing two maps and getting to that spot in the playoffs, and now it ends in the lower bracket. Double Elim couldn't save them, and the Turks are eliminated. As are the casters, guys. We'll be back with you. We do come into our second map. We'll be seeing a rematch between Epsilon and Godsend. That should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
All
That's
right.
going to be a very entertaining game.
All right, see you guys in a bit. So, that's it. Done and dusted. We are going to continue to see more of Epsilon, but we will not see more of Space Soldiers. In the words of Risk, their dreams of the major in Atlanta are over. But we can reflect upon how indeed it did go wrong, and that's, of course, brought to you by Vendetta and Natu. So, where do we start by understanding Dust2? You framed it as the chance for the Turkish side, Halvor.
We start at the beginning. Not surprisingly, and we start with a horrible start from Space Soldiers, and basically a very surprising lack of understanding of how to actually play as a T side. Obviously, stuff like this happens in the pistol round. You can't really, account for this kind of thing. That's just a great play from Draken coming in. But it's what they do as soon as they got money on their end. So their first buy round and, basically their second buy round as well. The fact that they opt to go towards Catwalk, which is perfectly fine, but they have limited utility, and at a certain point you have to realize what kind of personnel you're playing against and what their tendencies are. You're playing against Draken, he holds that A bomb site, and if they're up 5-0 for instance, he's going to have it on. And at that point, when you see Space Soldiers basically just refuse to use utility at all, trying to take bomb sites, at that point you understand that something's wrong with Space Soldiers. And they did rectify it eventually, but at that point Epsilon were already up to 7 rounds or so. So it was just way too late. And here we see it. Centaur's
Exhibit A.
Yeah, all of this time he does have a smoke, and you see this so often because it's not like Space Soldiers are unique in this in the sense that they're the only team that doesn't smoke off that corner. Way too many teams do it. Even though they know they're playing against an op, every opper in the world is going to take roughly that angle. Yeah, by the cards, and it's mind-blowing to me that it continues to happen time and time again.
When you look, a lot of teams do catwalk executes. What first thing that comes to my mind is, do these teams actually think about how they throw their flashes? What is the order of grenades they throw? Do they smoke first? Do they flash first? Who flashes when?
Right.
What's the flow of the whole run, the execute itself? Because kind of the point is to try to make it uncomfortable for the op. That's going to be either a slope, it's going to be car, and he's the one that's going to be able to stop the push. So that's when utility and the timing of said utility is going to be an incremental part. Running out for catwalk dry, not advisable in that situation. You just saw
Well, when
what's
it's
going to
like
happen.
5 rounds in a row wins for Epsilon, they're obviously going to have an AWP
Yeah.
and not an implementation of any utility.
No, it doesn't work that way. No, you're just asking for trouble. Second half, we saw Epsilon pretty much the way you'd expect them to. Just utilizing spawns they had. If they got a pick through the doors, they would just run for B. If they got long spawns, they would go for long. Making sure, hoping for trading kills effectively. A lot of fast-paced stuff. Very simplified, but effective because they have that individual skill. They're good at most of the time reacting to what their teammates are doing, and trading those skills effectively. So, it's the way it goes.
Yeah, I will say, though, that one of the big reasons why they got back into it in the second half, because Space Soldiers were getting back into things. Obviously, they had the late run in the first half and started off the second one in a pretty good manner as well. But that, I think it was a 1v2 initially with Rez as basically the hero player from Epsilon, saving that round in a position where he should have no business actually winning it.
I think it was, in the end, he got 3 kills in that round, or four, excuse me, but a 1 versus 2 as well.
Ends up picking up 1 guy in middle. That's fair enough, but it's unfortunate. Like, it's very unfortunate timing for Engine, who is the guy holding upper dark. Decides to change angle the second he can hear the footsteps coming in from Rez, because Rez is running out with the knife the entire time and misses that small window of opportunity where he can actually down him, because Engine, if I'm not mistaken, was down to 7 HP or something to that effect. But he would have the angle. Rez had no idea was there, and it would have been the golden opportunity for Space Soldiers to basically break the back of Epsilon. Instead, Epsilon get back into it, have a run of rounds, and then you see the back and forth trading, which is going to favor the T side in that economic battle. Yeah,
it was. It was a kind of a back and forth journey for Draken as well, who had one of the most sterling starts. You can have a look at the scoreboard, how he did it end up, but he had something close to 16 frags just 10 rounds in, and if you have a look at that, you can see ending on 21, so things certainly did calm down. Just 5 frags in what is essentially 20 rounds. He just completely
you can see it got to him as well.
The rage. Do you hear that?
Exactly, because normally we just hear Barbar, but at a certain point in time, and I think that was at score 12-11, and they just stopped Epsilon from pushing out on long. You could hear just like a loud bang. And we figured it was like, oh yeah, it's Space Soldiers getting excited about winning a round and finally getting into the groove of things, but no, that was Draken just venting his frustration pretty much.
Yeah, and Rez is going to be our MVP. The first time we've seen the youngster crowned MVP, or at least in my memory, and we can see exactly why. He was a very influential kind of cog in the Epsilon machine. Acknowledged by his teammate Barbar in the interview as someone to watch.
Very, very positive signs for Epsilon in the sense that, we talk about a bunch of teams that how they have depth in their lineup within skill. Like, you can always have that other guy come in if one of them is not fragging as much as they usually do. So, yeah, it's just a testament to the fact that these kids are very, very talented in Counter-Strike.
And you talk of Barbar, it looks like he is ready with Diana, so let's go ahead and do that. She's standing by with Barbar to talk through their victory, and of course coming up versus Godsend as well.
Hi everybody, it's the 3rd day and I finally learned how to put this earplug in my ear, so everything is good. I'm here with Barbar, congratulations.
Thank you.
So yesterday you said that Space Soldiers are a really tough team. Did you expect a harder fight from them? How did you think they went about this match?
No, they were a really strong team still, I think we did a good game. They made some mistakes also that were the double ecos, cost them double ecos and stuff like that. So, but we did a really good game, and we were sometimes lucky with our round wins, and we kept the composure also. So, I think we did a good game, and they didn't do their best game.
So, do you think their future is pretty bright?
Yeah, of course. They've been playing good for a long while now, so I hope they stick together and then they keep fighting.
Okay, now moving on, you were expecting a rematch with Godsend yesterday, and Godsend has been saying that they haven't got a lot of practice for this tournament. Is this a situation where the fact that you're a better prepared team will shine through in the match since you had more time to practice and, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't prac one single prac with Kalle, but we all do mistakes, No, we they were on a boot camp and stuff like that, so they got more practice than us. We're clearly the underdog since yesterday. Also, even though it was a close map, they're still big players. They have been major winners in that teams and stuff like that. But it's gonna be a fun game again, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
And now, we've noticed since you're here that you are pretty loud in your matches. Now we want to know, is that a way for you to psych up and hype up your players, or is that kind of like an everyday thing for you? Like, are you loud in ordinary, everyday situations?
No, but it's a really important match, and if that can help the guys a little bit to edge out the opponents, then I will do it every day, and apparently it's working pretty good. So I will keep on doing that until my voice says no.
Okay, well, good luck with that. Screaming is important, as we all know. And that's it from here.
Screaming is important, as we all know. Diana, you minx. All right. Natu and Vendetta to kind of round out our first game of the day. Our 3rd day here in the PGL studios, live from Bucharest. And I think our biggest takeaway from Space Soldiers' departure here is that yes, it is a gradual incline, but it is oh so gradual. The same recurring themes. I feel like we said in day 1, we're saying in day 3 for Space Soldiers. Admittedly, it's not going to change overnight, but we are again sitting there saying Santara's always looking good, perhaps a little bit baity. Despy looking okay.
Your words.
My words, not yours. I was sitting there. There were a couple of rounds where I was like,
yeah, no,
come on, Zantaras. Yes, you can do these magical 3Ks, but Anyway.
First buy round.
Yeah, don't get me started.
A lot of them are that way.
And Paz, yeah. Oh, a lot of them? You think there's a bit of a baity
There's a bit
atmosphere?
of a baitiness in a lot of in a lot of the ones that get that are high up in the fragging department though.
But Space Soldiers finishing above the likes of LDLC, above the likes of Alternate Attacks, Heroic, Ents. This is testament that they are still, they are starting to prove themselves to be, kings of the T2, T3.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in the contention. Like they're a part of it for sure. I mean, there are still obviously kinks, little things they need to figure out. They need to have more depth in their tactics book. They have to go and review these demos basically and think of where did we go south? Do we force buy in certain situations or not? Because we saw again some ridiculous force buying in a situation where your opponent's money is already stable. There's no way for you to break it, so may as well just take an eco, take that one more hit, be down 1-0-6, and then go for a full buy to be able to do full executes and whatnot. But I mean, overall, they do have skill in terms of we've been praising Paz, Despy, and Xantar as being a driving force for this team, and I think that's a great tool shed to be had. Tugux, obviously, with the experience coming from the German scene, is going to help tremendously. So, baby steps.
It is baby steps. And before we do take a baby step to the break, I just want a quick understanding and returning to what Barbar said about the Godsent Epsilon. That is coming up next, and I would like Halvor here to set the scene for why our viewers should stick around for this rematch.
Well, first off, if you didn't see the first game we had between these two, you should definitely rewatch that VOD.
Yeah, right now.
100%. So that's that you can do that on the break. Fast forward a couple of places. But it's a domestic matchup. Domestic matchups are always super fun, and maybe not necessarily because you're going to see the most refined plays, but you're going to see crazy individual performances because these players know each other so well. They know every tendency that their opponent has, and they're going to utilize that to their full advantage. So you're going to see a ton of crazy action and just a super intense game. I don't think there's any chance that we're actually going to see a blowout here.
All right, intense is going to be the buzzword for this one. It's going to be coming up next. We get two Swedes. It's going to be Epsilon Godsent coming up after our break, and one of these teams is going home.